All right, girls, here goes nothing. I'm going to try to do a tea wash of the beginning of my monochromatic watercolor. So I've got it all set up, and this is my little rig. It's the best I can do. I have 2 brushes ready to go. I've got a whole big pile of tea. Lots and lots, hopefully more than I need. That's the objective. And you know, I've tested it out over here. I feel like that's a decent tea wash. I've got 2 brushes because I'm going to start with the larger of the 2 brushes and start sweeping with that. If there's an edge where I feel like while it's still wet, I need to soften an edge so I don't end with a hard line, I'm going to take the smaller brush while it's damp and run over that just gently to soften an edge so I don't end up with a hard edge somewhere, if I'm able to think about that in the moment that it's happening. So yeah, I'm a little rusty. Hope I don't like ruin this in this demo. I do have my block up on an angle. I've got the photo in front of me. I did that tracing that I showed you the other day. That is like helping me think about where the shapes are. Right now, I'm going for the shapes, and I'm looking at the image, and I'm squinting at it. And squinting just tells me where to put my tea wash and where not to. That's my hope. Tea wash is going to go everywhere that there isn't going to be a white. Everywhere that isn't pure white is getting some tea. So because there's so much white in this setup, there's going to be some more white areas than there might normally be. So my best solution right now is squint and know where I'm not going to hit with the wash. Like over here. Okay, squint, squint. Here goes nothing. Glasses on. Also going to try to work from top to bottom. I don't care about the darkest values right now. I just want anywhere where there's not going to be white. Is getting this tea wash. I still have a bead, so I've got my brush that's a little smaller. I'm going to soften this edge, clean that off. I'm going to try to, might have been too late on that. I'm going to try to soften this edge too. Now back to my tea. Actually, this goes right over top. I'm going to soften this edge out here. Got too much of a bead right there. Just take a corner of a paper towel and soak that up. Awful lot of a bead right here too. I'm going to soften this edge as well. Sometimes when I'm softening, I start above where I'm going to soften and pull down. Tea. Actually, tea comes right on top of this thing. Squinting, and as Marcelo would say, connection, connection, connection. Oh, wrong brush. That's my soften brush. All right, so I'm going to soften this edge right here. Just running a damp brush over it. I cleaned it off. Soften these edges. All right, now back over here. Back to the bigger brush. Gotta skip. Come over here. Maybe I can pull this down into here. I'm being careful. I'm using a big brush, but I'm trying to just use the point of it. And to me, this whole thing over here, not really any white, so I'm going to pull this over. Pulling it right down. Squinting here. Before I do any more, I'm going to soften right here. Whoop. Let's pretend that's a happy accident. Heat. Okay, T. Still going with my T. Thinking about this ball. This ball has like mostly white. I'm looking at this and I'm realizing that there's part of my drawing that I cannot see. So it's a little bit of a pickle for me. Squint. This comes down. Right, this is really a big puddle here. It's really big. I'm just going to take the corner of a paper towel and touch it to it. Get rid of it. Over here, I did want to soften that edge, and I might be too late. Ah! Boy, that's weird. Okay. Few more areas of T. I keep switching brushes even though I don't mean to. Soften that out. Soften. Soften. Actually taking a really dry brush right now and lifting a little bit out of there. Okay, so I think for the T we just about got everything we need to do. Is that perfect? No, it's not. I wanted that edge to be soft. one more spot of tea that I missed. Basically, that's it. I'm not going to touch any more. I've got I got a little bit of what we call a back run right there where it wasn't a smooth transition. And my color, by the way, I decided I'd be, I don't know. I just mixed, I mixed ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson together. So that's how I arrived at that color. Again, I wish I had a soft edge here. Once it's dry, I probably can't soften it, but here I go. Trying to soften. All right. That's basically the tea wash. I held on to the major whites, I think. So that's it. Yeah. So the next range of values is going to be covered in the milk wash, which will come after this. So it looks a little messy now. You're supposed to go over lines. You're supposed to connect as much as you can. Leave the whites. And again, this particular example has a lot of whites. So you really need to think about where you're not going to paint before you start. So that's it.